I'm excited to present a demonstration of a 777 aircraft in the cockpit. This is a 777 aircraft in virtual reality. You see some annotations there on the equipment in the cockpit. And here we go with augmented reality. You can zoom right in and walk around in this model now. So in the AI environment, you can quickly add information using artificial intelligence. Videos, text information, photographs, and this content can be played and experienced right in the 3D environment. So you don't have to leave the environment.
The mode control panel is
and here we're learning about the flight controls.
Let's use it to
in the
fly
777 navigation area.
Let's begin from position hold at the end of the active
runway. And now we're starting to learn about the ACARS computer. We can walk around the cockpit, and let's look at another video about throttle controls in the 777 during a descent.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
So in this experience, we're gathering information, learning in real time, walking around the environment, one-to-one scale, and a great experience, closest to being in the simulator or in an actual 777 cockpit as you can get.
We're going to look now at the basic cockpit layout of the Boeing 777. In the center console, we have the lower display unit, which can display engine functions, system parameters, and interface for the ACARS communications unit. The aileron and rudder trim are used to keep the airplane trimmed and helps with fuel conservation to align the flight controls with the direction of flight travel. On the upper overhead console are the controls for the electrical, hydraulic, and air conditioning and pressurization systems, as well as the fuel.
Now we switch over to spatial meetings where you can meet with anybody in a one-to-one scale, anybody around the world. So this works great whether it's students, colleagues, professor, or industry professionals meeting about this experience. So here I'm walking around with a colleague showing about, in augmented reality, showing different parts of the farm, how they operate, how it's constructed, different design elements, and so forth. So in this experience, we can walk and talk together and learn, teach, and have that experience together. Okay, today we're going to have an immersive experience in a science lab. It's really exciting to have a one-to-one scale lab to walk through, just as if you're there. And this is really important, as students today might not have this experience, just being in the lab, and we know a lot of things are happening remote. Here you can see some annotations, things are labeled, there's information. There are videos in 3D space that I've added. I used artificial intelligence, took a picture of the different items and added both the annotations and the videos. You can add pictures, PDF, and text as well. So you see 3 videos here. This one back in there's on test tubes. We have one about using a medical grade scale. And we have another one about how to use test tubes and equipment.
5215.
So they'll be playing. You can play them right here in
2.5
3D
volt
space without
instrument set
leaving the
from
experience.
American Diagnostic Corporation. Features an otoscope head.
Welcome to this experience about the recording studio. I'm a very experienced professor in recording arts and really excited to share this experience with you. First, I'm starting with the overhead view of a recording studio design, so you can kind of see the layout of the build with different rooms. And now I'm starting with the control room. And right here with artificial intelligence, I've quickly embedded some videos and content information about some of the elements in the recording studio, the types of studio monitors that you'd want to include in a studio, and the type of audio interface, which is one of the first questions that students have. Then we move over to the recording space on the other side of the glass where the musicians are actually recording. I've also included 2 critical elements: what type of microphones are appropriate for different types of recording and recording different types of instruments. Now we're in a spatial meeting where I can show my students, and they can be anywhere in the world, and so can I, about the recording studio. Right now I'm going over the control room and the equipment there. And now we are in the recording space where I can show my students the layout, the instruments, the microphones used, how to position the microphones, the different things that we will need for the recording session. And we can just walk around, and right here I'm walking into the waiting room, showing that space, how we'll be planning the session, and I'll walk back into the recording session there and explaining about how this layout is set up. Now we're back in the control room where we started, going through the equipment required for this session. And finally, I have a brief lesson on a microphone comparison, the Shure SM58 and the Shure SM7B microphone, and how those are going to work in this session, as well as I'm showing adding a second monitor in the control room for this session.